Okay guys, welcome back. This is Rochelle from My Vintage Farm here with our seed haul from my gardener. I was gonna say from my gardener. So we are here in the trailer. Alyssa and Colin are still just listening to me ramble about seeds. They probably have no clue. Well, Colin doesn't know me yet. This is like my happy place. We have seeds. So today, well, this video is tomatoes. If you made it through the last video, guys, I did not hesitate to order a ton. That one's just my lettuces right there, some Nebraska bags. So I have got quite the haul here. I'll go ahead and take some pictures and put it with this or whatever, but yeah, we had quite the haul. So let's get to our tomatoes. This is the black Krim. Let's see if I can do a little, there we go. There we go. So I'm trying to read them all off to you. This is the Ukrainian purple. I feel like it makes it a little hard. Here's a trophy tomato. I love the different varieties. This is the giant Belgium. And now we've got, look at that there. Robeson? Paul, oh, this is the Paul Robeson. Yes, great tomato. Great tomato right there. Okay. Wapasipicon? No clue if I said that right, but it's a yellow tomato. I love yellow tomatoes. Charbonel. It's got that ox heart shape to it, so I just like having different shapes, different textures, all of that. Here's a stripy looking one. This is called a Champagne Bubbles. Like, look at that. If you could see on the package there, it looks like there's little bubbles in there, and they're nice round tomatoes. I will probably plant almost every one of these, like 85 to 95% of every one of these seeds will be planted this year. I might try to plant 100% of them, and that way I can see what the germination rate is and kind of rate each different one. This one is the Kellogg's breakfast tomato. That is beautiful, guys. That tomato is beautiful. I love it. Moneymaker. Real nice producer there. Mr. Stripey, I love growing this one. I've been growing it for years, and I just always love Mr. Stripey. Okay, this is the Tigerella. Look at how beautiful that is with that orange and red fire stripes on it. And right here we've got the Japanese black. The purple. These are tomatillos, but I really love these. If you've ever had a nice verde sauce, you've had tomatillos, and if you just enjoy having different types of sauces and salsa in the Hispanic community like my family does, you're using tomatillos. Okay, this is a Floridel. You cannot have too many. I've never grown the Abe Lincoln, and so when I seen this, I was like, I have got to try that. I have got to try it. I believe it was like from, it doesn't show it on here, but it was like a very, very old tomato. The green sausage. So my nephew keeps telling me, I asked him, like, what do you want to grow on the farm? You guys will see I have a video I'm editing right now from the time he spent with me this week. So darn cute. He wants to grow M&M and sausage. So he knows that. I don't know if he understands that sausage comes from meat. He knows that meat comes from animals. But I thought that was hilarious. Wisconsin 55. We've got the pink ox heart here. Another great shape. Oh gosh, look at the Brandywines. I'm a Brandywine fan forever. One of the first tomatoes I grew. This is the Amana Tomato. Look at that nice orange flesh with that yellow on the inside. So beautiful. Well, the orange skin with the orange to yellow flesh on that one. This is the white cherry. Cherry tomatoes are really hard to harvest, so if you don't have a lot of time to spend in your garden harvesting, or if you don't have kids that are great at going in and picking for you, you might want to think twice when you're choosing your varieties of tomatoes to pick. They are time consuming, so definitely not my favorite thing to harvest, but they sell really well at our farm stand, so I like to keep a few on hand. And I'm gonna try to do a program this year where we have some people who come out and you pick that are part of our program that receive the free produce. So here is the vintage wine tomato, and I feel like if I can have some people that come out and pick their own that are in our program, it would be really great, because it kind of takes some of the weight off of what I have to do work-wise. This is an orange ox heart. Gorgeous. This is the black seaman. Boxcar Willie. I just like the name. That's it. So when I have all these different tomatoes, I will actually like print and laminate little tiny cards to go with each one, so as they're harvested and they're on the baskets of our shelf for our farm stand, people can read about each different one, and it might help them choose what they want. But it's cool because it educates them, something that they may not know about heirlooms. So a striped Roma. I love Romas. They're great for sauce. A Tiffin Mennonite. So I want to read more about that. This is from Germany by Mennonites, 1800s. So sometimes I will choose them just based on if it's a really old type of tomato. Yellow stuffers. I love growing stuffers. Like, just love it. Here's a big rainbow. Look at that coloring on that. Black Prince. We went a little bit crazy on these. Now, I'm not sure. There's about 25 in each pack of these. This one's called, oh, this is the Dr. Weechies. Love this. This is the yellow. Yes. The Marion. Early Cascade. This is a little bigger. So, it's a little bigger than a cherry tomato. But still another one. The great thing about this is you can literally clip the vine when you're harvesting. Clip the vine, take it. I know you guys will see like vine ripened in stores where they'll clip it when it's green, they'll take it. You can do that at home too. Most of the time we like to let things harvest here, but if you are trying to harvest for your farm stand, that's a great one. You can literally clip the vine. Sometimes the plants like this, because they are so uniform, you can kind of figure out like, oh, if there's 5 or 6 on each one, then you'll know by the weight of it. We try to do things by the dollar here, so we'll do like $1 a tomato. It just depends on what we're growing, and things like that, and what the weight of it is. But each basket, for whatever it is, will have its price on it. I would love to get it to where we have a uniform price per pound for the entire farm and we just throw it on the scale. But because we have a serve yourself honor system stand right now, that's how we do it. And whatever people pay is what we take. So the price is suggested there. Hopefully they pay that price, and then it offsets the cost of what it was for us to grow them. But if not, it's not the end of the world. At least people are eating our food, because we are in the business of feeding people and making money. But number one, we want to feed people. This is a rose tomato. We have a Tia Rose, and so I thought I would grow that one and just kind of surprise her with some tomatoes later on this year. This is Old German. Look at how pretty that one is. We've got the evergreen tomato here. We've got the beefsteak. Everybody loves beefsteak. I don't know anybody who doesn't like a beefsteak, especially if you're a tomato sandwich fan. You love the beefsteak. Black cherry. Another one here for the cherry tomatoes. Nice variety. Black from Tula. The mortgage lifter. I love mortgage lifter tomatoes. Let's see what these ones say. 2-pound tomatoes. These are huge. These are super huge. I love them. Alyssa takes them. She eats them right off the vine. And in the summertime, she literally carries a darn salt shaker around with her, or like a whole thing of salt. I know her boyfriend's there. She's like, Mom. But she'll like keep a whole thing of salt out there either by the patio or in the field. But I always am like, where'd the salt go? So we already know by summertime to like stock up on our salt, because Alyssa has taken it, because as I send her out there to do chores, I'll find her like lost in the field eating freaking tomatoes. Here's the pineapple. Super beautiful. Look at the skin on that, guys. Here's the Great White. Another, is it, yeah, Great White. Oh, Brandywine Yellow. Another one, guys, in the Brandywine family. I love these. There's not a tomato that I don't like. There have been some that are like higher in acidity, and so there have been times like where I just couldn't eat them because the acid level was too high for me. But I love tomatoes. I absolutely love them, and I will eat them every day. Here's a Brandywine Red. So Amish paste tomato. Now there are some varieties I grew here just for myself. I do some canning classes and preserving classes, and I wanted to make sure that I had enough things that I was growing on hand to where I'm not having to buy in bulk from other farmers, because that's what I do right now. We have another farm up the road who grows a ton of heirloom tomatoes, so it's great. I could always get their next day boxes. I think it's like $18 or $20 for a big box of tomatoes, and for me, I know it goes into growing those tomatoes, so I gladly pay that, but I always try to get the day old ones, because if I'm doing it, I'd rather just kind of get something that wasn't first day, first pick. I'm going to be canning it and preserving it anyways. Blueberry tomatoes. Purple bumblebees, so cute. And the blueberry tomatoes, they are very small. This is another one you want to think about, like when you're harvesting. Do you have the time? And if you do, like how much time do you have, and how many plants do you want to plant to be harvesting off of that? Definitely any of the smaller, I mean, most of the tomatoes, unless they're a bush tomato like Shady Lady, I always trellis up or try to trellis up, and it really helps as far as harvesting goes. But yeah, you definitely want to think about that when you're planting, and how much you're planting and how much time you want to spend harvesting off of those plants. Another thing I do is when I plant things, I always think, okay, what's the heaviest thing for harvest? Because that one I plant closest to the house. So there's a less distance for me to have to travel with it, even if it's going to be just going to the truck at some point, especially like with my limitations health-wise. I want to make sure that if I'm having to lift things, that I'm planting them closer. So we switched our rows. Before, our rows were running this way, now they're running this way. So it's going to be kind of funny, but the rows that are over here are definitely going to have more of our heavy producers, so we'll probably see a lot of tomatoes in the first rows, and then the rest of the stuff in the other ones, because these are the heavy all-season producers for us. Cherokee Purple, Hillbilly. Who doesn't want to eat a Hillbilly tomato? Come on now. Red Pear, another one that's a smaller one. Definitely want to prepare yourself for harvesting. I look at these, and as I'm saying them, Yellow Pear, I'm like, oh my gosh. The heart and the tomatillos. These are literally, they're hard to harvest. They take a lot of time, a lot of energy. And when you're running an entire farm or homestead or huge garden space, or if you're a market gardener, time is precious. Here's the Homestead Tomato. Bonnie's Best. I definitely love this one because my grandma Bonnie passed away. Brandywine Pink. German Johnson. Yellow Pear. The Mar Globe. So this Yellow Pear one, you guys see another one, they grow, you can snip it off right there and let them ripen on the vine. I love when things can ripen in the field, but there are sometimes you just got to give yourself a little slack, and if part of it's already ready to go, just go ahead and start to harvest from that, and then it'll start to put the energy into making the other fruit produce. These are the Sun Globe tomatoes here. A lot of variety in color. That's what I love. The Azoyo Chica. I don't even know how to say that. Chica? I don't know clue. Azoy Chica? I have no clue. We're just gonna probably not act like I tried to say that 5 times wrong. Aunt Ruby's German Green. I don't have an Aunt Ruby, but I wish I did. Chocolate Stripe. I love these. I grew these 3 years ago, but I only had 4 plants of them. I actually bought them. They had them at Ace Hardware, which was kind of funny, but I love that. And the Green Zebra, I love growing these too. I've never actually gotten to eat any of them. So some of them that I haven't gotten to eat is because the kids get to them ahead of time. So usually in summertime, our farm is filled with kids. Alyssa's friends, nieces, nephews, mainly my nephew, all out there. But my nephew, even though he says tomatoes is his favorite, he's talking about potato. He's talking about potatoes. He hates tomatoes. So that is it, guys, on our tomato seed haul from M.I. Gardner. I'm really excited. I love the variety. And one thing, these are 99 cents a pound. You cannot go wrong. 99 cents each. So, I mean, for the variety that I got, with each one having around 25 seeds per pack, I think that's a steal. And each, I'm going to have to do 2 bags of tomatoes. Each variety that I grow, if you grow 25 plants, I mean, you guys see me name off all these. I don't even know the exact number of how many tomatoes. And this isn't even it. I have a few other ones here that from Baker Creek too that I'll be growing this year. But that's a lot of tomatoes to be growing and harvesting. So I already know I'm probably going to have to expand my garden beds and go off and into the back quarter of the area, which we're going to use for partial parking. But that's okay. I would much rather have just a ton of those. And I may add in, like right now I have like a 6 to 8 foot spacing between each bed. I may go ahead and put more rows in. So where I have 37 rows, I may be able to double that by just putting another row and then only having, you know, a 3 foot section between each one. And then you feel like, well, 3 foot and then things bush out. But if you're growing things with like one big plant on one side and you're trellising your tomatoes that you can, or putting your beans and stuff up on trellises, then the other side you grow something low, and then, you know, and you kind of do that all throughout. Like I'll see, like once I get out there and I start planting, another thing I'll do too is like as I plant one thing, I can go in and plant another thing afterwards. So, bless you. Bless you. Thank you. Welcome. So as I go in and I plant one thing and I have all of the taller things planted or shorter things planted, I can go and I can add in another side of height difference, and you know, some things has like a bush style plant or a very wide plant. I can plant one that doesn't take up as much space. So it's really about maximizing your garden space, because if you have seen any information on like square foot gardeners, you can fit a lot into a square foot. You just have to make sure that you're utilizing your space the right way. So I definitely recommend playing around with, you know, complementing plants, and not just thinking, oh, I have one row, I'm just going to plant, you know, just this and not use both sides. So use both sides of your irrigation or drip tape or whatever it is. If you're hand watering, God bless you, because hand watering takes so much time, and depending on where you're bringing your water in from, it can be quite the haul. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the different varieties of tomatoes. I hope you guys will place an order with M.I. Gardner as well. We are not affiliates at all. I just placed this order because, like I said, I had lost my tomato seeds, and when I found out that M.I. Gardner had quite the huge selection of heirloom seeds for 99 cents a pack, I definitely wanted to get in on that and see if I could replace some of what I lost. Now, I won't be doing rows and round rows of the same like I had. You know, I had like thousands of seeds per each tomato, but at least, you know, my plan was grow them, grow seedlings, sell plants here at our little nursery site that we're putting in this year, and then also sell seed packets, and then recoup the money I invested into the seeds. And unfortunately, none of that's going to happen, but at least I'll have seeds that I can plant, and I may even be able to take a few and put those on our shelves for our nursery, just to add some diversity. I think it'll be really great if people, like if I have 20 of them, maybe I will sell 5 plants and plant 20. I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but this is the beginning of what will unfold. If you garden like I do, then you know that you can never really tell exactly what you're going to do until you start doing it. At least for me, because I'm like, oh, maybe I'll just plant this, and I plant 100. So it's very common. And then I'm like, oh, we'll just put more rows in, because that's what you do, right? That's what I do. So have a great day, guys. Thanks for watching this video. Subscribe if this is your first time. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all my viewers and your support. I look forward to sharing this new growing season with you, and stay tuned for part 3 of our seed haul from M.I. Gardner, where we go through our herbs and flowers. God bless.